What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And yes, you read that right. This long-awaited patch is now up. We've been waiting. They announced they were nerfing Thanos, they were nerfing Shuri, but were they nerfing Leech? We don't know, but the notes are now up for the patch that is now live. So we're gonna go over them. I'm gonna share my thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts, but these are some massive changes, and it's gonna change the whole meta, so you don't wanna miss this. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman. If you love Marvel Snap as much as I do, especially the competitive aspect, ranking up the ladder, going over decks, strategy, all that kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell. Trying to reach 8,500 subscribers by the end of the month. We're super close, so make sure you subscribe. We got a bunch of other cool stuff too. We got an amazing Discord server down in the description below. And if you're subscribed, you can also enter our monthly season pass giveaway. I give away 3 free season passes every single month, but you gotta be subscribed and you gotta follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. It's linked down in the description below. All right, so let's jump into this. Let me get that screen ready. All right, here, let me shift this over. Wait. That's good, right? Here, I'll zoom it out a little bit. How about that? How about that? We'll zoom it out just a scotch for you. Or is that not big enough for you? Here, we'll zoom it in, even better. Okay, so first up, Thanos. So Thanos went from a 6'11 to a 6'10. Basically, they updated him and buffed him before Thanos became like one of the top decks out there, so they brought him down to 6'10. All right, I'm not gonna go too in-depth in the notes. If you want to, I'll link this down below and you can go over like what the developers say, because they let you know the thought process and everything. One of the things is they didn't want to nerf Thanos' power too much, because when they brought him up to a 6'11, they put him in Shang-Chi range, so they want to keep him in Shang-Chi range. All right, so next up is the Quinjet. So the Quinjet now reduces cost to a minimum of 1. And you'll see this theme kind of throughout the patch notes. They didn't nerf cards too much as they did decks, but we kind of knew that, right? They said that they were gonna be like looking at Thanos and Shuri decks. So, and this kind of sucks for other decks that we're playing, but anyways. So Quinjet now reduces cost to a minimum of 1. So it didn't want to make it so your stones for the Thanos decks were 0. So now they cost at least 1 power, but there is a deck that I love to play. I think Jeff Hoagland was one of the first people to make it, but basically it would reduce the cost of cards like, you know, your Demon, Titania, what else? Anything that you duplicated with Moon Girl. Well, now that is not happening. It would reduce them to 0. Now they're gonna be reduced to 1. I forgot to mention this about the Thanos deck. The Space Stone, on reveal, next turn you move 1 card at this location. They changed that to move a card to this location. So Space Stone was one of the more powerful cards for the Thanos Lockjaw deck, because you would just drop a Space Stone in, then you could move Lockjaw, or you could move the big card, whatever you wanted to, away from there, and your opponent didn't really know what to expect. And it also made the Thanos deck, like, it just had answers to everything, right? Like, if you stormed a lane and I'm playing a Thanos deck, I didn't have to worry about it because I could just drop my Space Stone, I can get in there later, right? So this is definitely like a good change to take down its power a little bit, because it also makes it so the opponent can read what you're doing a little bit better as well. Because before, like, if someone, like, whenever I played the Thanos deck, I'd have to stare at it and be like, okay, did they drop a Space Stone? All right, where are the places this person can move to, which one of the cards? Because if they dropped 3 stones into Lockjaw, you didn't know which of the cards that they were gonna move next. So excellent change there. All right, so now we're getting into the Shuri-ish changes, okay? So Red Skull is now a 5/15, and enemy, no, it was a 5/15. It's now a 5/13. Enemies at this, cards at this location have +1 power. So this makes it a little bit less for Shuri, so Shuri now doubles up Red Skull to 26, okay? But he's only giving +1 power to all the cards on the opponent's side, all right? So let me know down in the comments. I had people on Discord, I had people on Twitter saying, oh, this is actually a buff. This is actually a buff. I'm not seeing it. I'm not understanding how this is actually a buff. This does make Red Skull a little bit, you know, a little bit more, I don't know, it might be more playable on its own, you know what I mean? Because it's not buffing the enemy cards too much. And if that's what you mean, I guess, you know, but let me know down in the comments below if I'm missing something. So now She-Hulk, they have changed She-Hulk from a 6'10" to a 6'9", all right? Not a big change. She-Hulk has been an amazing card. She-Hulk was actually the first Series 4 card that I bought. When they introduced Series 4 and Series 5, when they introduced a token shop, I was like, yo, I'm getting She-Hulk. I still think she's still very playable. This isn't a terrible nerf. She's used in a ton of decks. Like they mentioned that she's like in here with like, you know, Sunspot, Wave, and Moon Girl all the time. And yeah, they barely weakened her. She's still gonna be very, very playable in my opinion. Now, the card that you all have been waiting for. Aero, all right? Aero, they buffed her back up from a 5'7" to a 5'8", where she used to be, right? But a lot of people are worried that she has been destroyed, all right? So they changed her text to say, on reveal, move the last enemy card played this turn to this location, okay? So, okay, here's what they said for this, okay? Aero is a tricky card for us. The actual game balance for Aero has been healthy, and she fulfills a vital role in our game, providing interaction, especially against the, I guess, dangerously polarizing cards like Galactus. It's important for Aero to be versatile and strong in order to be widely playable, a widely playable tech card, but we don't want her pushing the majority of other 5-cost cards out of decks. Unfortunately, that's the behavior we're seeing. And I can vouch for that. Like, I never used Aero before. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, why did I not use Aero? Aero was one of my last Series 3 cards, so I just got used to not playing her. And with just all of the recent metas, like, I'm like, okay, I gotta learn how to play her, and she's been in every one of my decks. And yeah, she's taking up that 5-cost place, because every time like I lose in a match where I'm just like, man, if I just had Aero in here. So it's gonna be cool. Like hopefully some other cards get to see some play again. But Aero can also be frustrating to see, denying players the option to play their own end games. This change seeks to keep Aero strong where she's needed, foster more competition among 5-cost cards, and add counterplay to make her more fun to play against. So yeah, like I remember I was playing like, I played a few matches where you always gotta expect Aero, and like I was playing like a Sarah deck, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I can put 2 cards at this location to block Aero, but that's it, right? And I just have to forfeit because if they have Aero in their deck, they're pulling all of them. So knowing that she's only gonna pull 1 is much more, it sets my mind at ease a little bit more. You know what I mean? Let me know what your thoughts are on Aero down below, because I'm curious if you're happy with it, if you're an Aero player, are you angry about it? What's going on? Okay, so this one I am stoked about. I am so excited about this next one right here. So, they changed Mystique, Absorbing Man, and Taskmaster. These cards now require the previously played card to be in play in order to copy its attributes, all right? That is amazing. So, most of you know this, but if not, let me break it down for you real quick. So let's say Shuri tags Red Skull, okay? Boom, that fool is 30, okay? Now he's gonna be what, 26? So they tag Red Skull. Well, now, if Red Skull's in play, but somehow I maintain priority because I'm just doing my thing, controlling the board, right? If I had priority and I get to just Shang-Chi Red Skull, right? Or whatever it is, Taskmaster could come out and still copy that 30 power. So you still have to worry about that, right? Now, that's gone. Now he won't do that. If you lose your card, Taskmaster will be a 5-0 card. So Taskmaster's still gonna be a strong card. Like, if you manage to maintain priority and you can't get, you know, Shang-Chi or whatever, you're fine. And they made the same change to Mystique and Absorbing Man, which I think is fine. Like, I didn't think that made any sense to be able to copy a card that like did not exist anymore. some of the times that I played overpowered decks was because of that. I remember like when I made my video a while back on using featured locations or hot locations to like rank up faster, one of them was a destroy deck I had where I utilized that with Taskmaster. I'd be like, okay, I know they're gonna kill my gigantic Venom that I was using on Bar Sinister, but Taskmaster's gonna be fine. And then I can absorb Man into Taskmaster and all these other things, right? But yeah, so I think this is really good. I'm happy about that. So the last couple, Morbius's power no longer updates in your hand or in your deck, only at location. Same thing with Null, power still updates in hand, but no longer updates in deck. So this is kind of exciting. So those of you who didn't know, like Null had a weird interaction in Mr. Negative decks where I believe like you wouldn't get the power. So if it's only happening in your hand, now you can Mr. Negative Null. So Mr. Negative might be viable and like in a negative deck. And I'm pretty excited about that because today Negasonic Teenage Warhead comes out. I'm getting that card. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, I want to play Null a little bit more. I don't know if it'll be good, if Negasonic will be good in a Mr. Negative deck, but I've always wanted Null to have some more viability because right now, or right before this patch, Null was really only good in a Galactus deck, right? So I don't know if that's why they did the change to Morbius too, but that might be interesting. So yeah, and what's this one? I didn't see this before. Widow's Bite. Well, this is in your hand, cards in your deck cannot be drawn. Well, this is in your hand, you can't draw cards. Huh. I just noticed this in the video. Okay, let's see. Widow's Bite inaccurately described its in-game effect. While we considered updating the effect of Widow's Bite to only prevent drawing your own cards and effects like Cable from drawing your cards, we ultimately decided it was better experience to simplify the text and keep the current effect rather than create these edge cases. Okay. I was kind of worried because like, even though like I play a lot of Black Widow, like I was kind of glad when someone else plays a Black Widow against me. If I do a Moon Girl or something like that, I still draw those cards. So I'm glad that they left that alone. Woo! Your boy got scared for a minute. You got scared. All right, but anyways, those are the updates. So like I said, they did not nerf Thanos or Shuri. Well, Thanos like a little bit, but Shuri was not mentioned in this at all. So those are fine. Okay, I already had some people like, should I still buy Shuri? Should I still buy Thanos? Like, I'll always say like, if you think that it's gonna be fun for you, go for it, right? And like, if it's like something that can like change up decks or it's like, you know, a new archetype you can play with, like go for it. I still think both the decks are still gonna be totally fine. They're just not gonna be as overpowered, okay? So one of the main things that you might have noticed is our little green buddy was not mentioned at all, Leech. My opinion on it, don't care, totally fine. Is it annoying? Sure, but there are 9,000 annoying things that happen in this game on a regular basis. That little green idiot is not on my mind, all right? So I really don't care. I'm sure a lot of you are upset about that, but I've mentioned it before. Like, I just don't feel like it was too overpowered. I mainly wanted to see a change just so everybody would chill out about it, you know what I mean? But I think, you know, whatever. And we might see Leech not being as powerful with like Thanos decks. I don't know, we'll see. Time will tell, okay? But the other thing is too, we didn't see any buffs really for cards in this. I know a lot of people have been asking for that. Other people want, you know, cards that they want to see get played more and stuff. I'm hoping that this Aero change maybe does that because like it said, like Aero's been taking up a 5-cost slot in a lot of people's decks. So maybe we'll start seeing more. Like, again, every time I'm looking at a deck, I'm just like, man, I gotta squeeze Aero in here. You know what I mean? So now that she's not as viable, I'm hoping to see some other cards get some play. Right now, personally, I'm gonna sit back and kind of watch and see how things play out. I got to rank 95, even though I'm not like hardcore, like going insane about this season. Like I got to rank 95 just messing around with decks. And one of the decks I came across was just phenomenal. And a lot of my big wins came from Aero, you know? So I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna see what kind of decks are good, you know? And I have plenty of other decks. So I do like that I can have some peace of mind that I won't get arrowed, you know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts on the patch notes down below. And yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, trying to hit 8,500 subscribers by the end of the month. And if you are subscribed, you can join our Discord server and you get to be part of our monthly giveaway where I give away 3 free season passes. By the way, so next month is Hitmonkey. They just did a data mine link. So I might do a video on that, but we know what is it? April, May? We know what the May season is gonna be. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed and follow me on Twitter because that's how you enter. It's at BootmanMSCZ. It's linked down in the description below. And real quick, make sure you stick around because they just did the variant rush just started with the steampunk variant. So I've been sitting on a bunch of reserves. So I'm gonna record a video real quick, open up my reserves, see if I get anything, see if I get some variants, see if I maybe get some Series 4, Series 5. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, anyways, that's all I got for this video. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.